Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome again, friends. Now we are discussing another Anglo-Saxon elegy, that is the seafarer. Well, we have already discussed the wanderer. The wanderer, it means in Arabic al-ha'im. And now the seafarer, al-bahar. Okay, now while discussing the seafarer, we will try to connect this poem with the other poem that we have explained. I mean, with the wanderer, and with the rest of the poems that we are going to explain in another videos. So let's start reading the seafarer. I will not be reading all the poem, but I will read just the lines that I have, that I mentioned that they are more important, or they have, some important ideas in them. So, I can sing a true song of myself, tell of my journeys, how in days of toil I have often suffered troubled times, endured hard heartache, come to know many of care's dwellings on the keel of a ship, terrible tossing of the waves, where the anxious night watch often held me at the ship's stem, when it crashes against the cliffs. So, by reading these lines, we can understand that this seafarer he is having a very terrible life, a miserable life in the sea, right? Because he is describing how the ship is tossing, like right and to the right and to the left, and it is really terrible to live in the sea. And I have already told that in the Anglo-Saxon world, they didn't prefer nature. They described nature as a negative thing, right? So we now know from this part, we know that this seafarer we know his job. He is a seafarer and he is having a bad life in the sea. Okay. Here, that man does not know, he whose lot is fairest on land, how I dwelt all winter, wretched with care, on the ice-cold sea, in the paths of exile, deprived of dear kinsmen. So, he is trying to say that people in towns, in cities, they are having a great time, a great life, and they don't know about my tough life, right? They don't know that I am on exile. They don't know that I am deprived from my kinsmen, my relatives, and they don't know that I am alone. And we say that Anglo-Saxon people, they didn't prefer exile, right? They hated exile. They thought that exile is the biggest punishment, right? Yes. So he is criticizing people in towns, and he is saying that they don't know about my miseries. Here again, we can see that he is mentioning the idea that people in towns do not know about his bad life, and so he who has tasted life's joy in towns, suffered few sad journeys, scarcely believes, proud and puffed up with wine, what I weary have often had to endure in my seafaring. So those people who are living in towns, they don't even believe that I am having a bad life. Instead, they are drinking wine, they are, enjoying their lives with worldly, things. My heart's desire urges my spirit, time and again, to travel. Well, he wants to travel although he is having bad time in the sea. But why? Why he is trying to travel again? So that I might seek a foreign land somewhere far from here. He wanted to travel to a foreign land. We don't know to where, right? But we know that although he is having a bad time on the sea, he wants to travel again. Well, we will see why. And so, no man on earth is so proud in spirit, nor so gifted in grace, nor so keen in youth, nor so bold in deeds, nor so beloved of his Lord, that he never has sorrow over his seafaring. No one on earth has more, sorrow, more bad life than the seafarer. When he sees what the Lord might have in store for him, he has no thought of the harp or the taking of rings, nor the pleasures of women, nor joy in the world. So it is like when he remembers God, and when he remembers that in heaven he might, have something better, he does not care about women, about, worldly goods or anything. So that is why maybe he wants to travel again. And so now my thought flies out of my breast, my spirit moves with the sea flood. So the source of his urge is his breast. So we can find that his journey that he is going to set is a spiritual journey. He wants to go on a spiritual journey, not, a normal journey as he used to do before. See here in these lines, I will never believe that earthly goods will endure forever. I won't believe that, these things on earth will endure, will last forever. If you guys remember in The Wanderer, there also were some lines, and in these lines it says that, he's describing how, the great buildings and the great kings and everything is in this life faded. So again, this life is unworthy for living. That's what he is trying to say. And that's why he is trying to set on another journey. Always, for everyone, on one of three things hangs in the balance before its due time: illness or age or attack by the sword, restless life away from one doomed to die. Well, here he is saying that, every human being is going to die sooner or later. So you are going to die either by illness or by age. You are going to be aging, or by the sword. Maybe your head will be cut. So كل شخص سوف يواجه مصيره، سوف يموت بمرض، بشيخوخة، بسيف. Yes. And that is, if you remember in The Wanderer, the other poem, also the Wanderer describes how his friends met their fate and how they died. And here also he is saying that, well, we are going to die. We are going to be ill, sick, or we are going to be maybe beheaded, or we are going to have accidents. So one day we are going to die. So why we are so stuck to this life? Why don't we remember God? Let's continue to explain the other parts of this poem. The days are lost and all the pomp of this earthly kingdom. There are now neither kings nor emperors, no gold givers, as they once were, when they did the greatest glorious deeds and lived in the most lordly fame. All this noble host is fallen, their happiness lost. The weaker ones remain and rule the world. I will repeat this line. The weaker ones remain and rule the world, laboring and toiling. Wow. So, as you can see here, first he is talking about now there is no gold givers. By saying gold givers, he means kings, right? So the kings died, right? Everything faded. And again, the weaker ones remain and rule the world. After the great, even the great kings who once ruled the world, now they are gone, and now there is weak kings who are ruling this world. So this world is so bad and is unworthy for living because everything good in this life is decaying, and all good things are going bad, and faith and life is going bad day by day. And also here, in these lines, when he says the weaker ones remain and rule the world, I think he is criticizing the Christian, system of ruling, because after Christianity, the son can be the king, right? So because the son can be the king, the son may be bad, or we can say that, yeah, it's true that some kings are good but their sons are not. So he is criticizing the system of ruling during Christianity because the son can rule, and the son might not be like his father. So here there is a sense of criticism. Some critics say that yes, it's criticizing for Christianity. Not Christianity, sorry, for the ruling system, of Christianity. Well, as you see, we started the poem here. We started the poem by we are introduced to the seafarer. We know how miserable his life is. We understood his situation. Then in the climax of this, it doesn't have a climax, but assume it has a climax. He is talking about how this life, or how the nature of everything is transitory. And then in the end here, he is also criticizing the way life is going bad day by day. Then here at the very end we will see it will end at the same way that all elegies end. Let us consider where we should have our home, and then think how we might come there, and let us also strive to reach that place of eternal peace, unending blessedness, where life is found in the love of the Lord, hope in heaven. Thanks be to the Holy One that He has so honored us, ruler of glory, eternal Lord, throughout all time. Amen. You see, Amen is a religious word, and it ends in a sense of praising God, saying that the remedy of this, of this sickness is returning to God. So again, compare it to the Wanderer. You will find that the same plot, right? The same plot of these poems. They have the same plot. They start in introducing the person, one person complaining about his life or her life, then climax is also talking about the bad things that he have suffered, but again at the very end we find a sense of advice and returning to God. So I think I don't have anything else to say about the seafarer. I might be ending the lecture here. So yeah, and again I will continue to talk about the wife's lament and the ruin of elegies. So take care and see you.